Welcome to the French Grand Prix, here in Magny-Cours.
Well, you're right there, Murray. Hello everyone and welcome back to my Let's Play on the original Formula 1 game for PlayStation. Yes, it's Formula 1. And once again, our driver is Mr. David Twat Coulthard, and we are at Magny-Cours. Now, as I record this episode, we have just had over... Oh my goodness gracious me, and David Twat Coulthard's completely missed that chicane there, completely. I think his unfamiliarity with this circuit has really caught him out as we come into the pits, as we always do, to change up our strategy for the race, because of course this actually affects the race. Now, I'd just like to say also that what I was talking about in the last episode about finding this glitch which could impact the rest of the season, well, this glitch has occurred. And I can't tell you about it yet because it's about 3 or 4 episodes away, but when it has happened, you will be the first to know about it. And oh my god, it turned the season on its head. Quite literally on its head. Anyway, David Twat Coulthard now goes out again for the first of our qualifying sessions at the Magny-Cours circuit in France, which was not very much liked by many of the drivers, it has to be said. It was very, very difficult to set the car up for, but they always persevered and, you know, managed to get a few victories in the end. Anyway, while I waffle on, I was just about to say that we are on the back of a real-life Grand Prix for the 2019 season. Now, of course, if you happen to be an alien from the planet Glog, and it's possibly about the year 3050, and you're watching this video back right now, you won't have a clue what I'm talking about. Absolutely no clue whatsoever. But all I can say is, glub blah 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 blah. There you go, that's sorted him out. So as I say, we have just had a real-life race of 2019 in the gorgeous Baku circuit, and how exciting it was. It was so exciting, oh my goodness. I just have one question though. Why was a honey badger reversing into a torpedo? Everyone knows you don't do that. No, Daniel, no, don't reverse into a torpedo. You know it'll end in tears. You just know it'll end in tears. Anyway, so as Mr. David Twat Coulthard goes around for the qualifying session at the gorgeous Magny-Cours circuit in France, and you get your first glimpse at the gorgeousness of the graphics on the F1 1995 engine. Yes, absolutely gorgeous. He crosses the line there. Oh, it's 24th at the moment. Yes, 24th place. Anyway, let's give you some more facts now about the 1995 season, because that's what you're here for, not here to hear me waffling on all day, are you? No. So here we are. At the front of the field, Michael Schumacher and Damon Hill in the Benetton and Williams cars respectively were the favourites to battle it out for the Drivers' Championship, with Schumacher anticipating a struggle for the championship. Bernard Dudot, Renault Sports chief engineer, said he believed Benetton were less well prepared than Williams, as the former team had changed its engine supplier to Renault, whereas Williams had been in partnership with the company since 1989. McLaren were also concerned about the standard refuelling equipment provided for 1995 by suppliers Intertechnique, having suffered a major leak in a test of the new rig outside of its factory. Intertechnique had redesigned the fuel equipment, which was used by all the teams in the wake of a pit lane fire suffered by driver Jos Verstappen during the previous year's German Grand Prix. The new fuel rigs, in addition to being half the size of the 1994 ones, also featured longer nozzles and were designed to lock onto the car before any fuel could begin to flow. Intertechnique traced the problem to a faulty valve within the equipment, which caused 10 kilograms or 22 pounds of fuel to leak, and modified the parts accordingly. It was only the 17th race since refuelling had been reintroduced to the sport at the start of the 1994 season. Another rule revision meant that the minimum weight limit of 595 kilograms applied to both car and driver together. Prior to the first session of the season, all of the drivers were weighed to establish a reference weight to be used on occasions when the two were weighed separately, or if the driver was unavailable to be weighed. As such, a small competitive advantage could be established if the driver attempted to register a weight as heavy as possible, so their actual weight when driving the car would be lower. Now, as I've been waffling on, did David Twat Coulthard actually get up into 5th position? I think I saw it out of the corner of my eyes. This is unbelievable scenes at France. Absolutely unbelievable scenes. Let's have a look now as he's about to complete another qualifying lap, whether he did in fact get into 5th place, or whether he's going to come into the pits now and adjust his strategy. Well, he's a little bit off of Damon Hill, but oh my god, oh, he's completely cocked that up. Completely cocked that up. I think he's going to come into the pits now, is he? Let's have a look now and see if indeed he comes into the pits. Just coming down the final thing here before the chicane. Is he going to come in? We will see now. Goes through the chicane very, very badly indeed. And yes, he comes into the pits. So I think, though, we are going to start in 5th position for Mr. David Twat Coulthard. So we're now going to change up the strategy. This is now the fuel for the race that we're going to put in. We're going to change the tyres as well because I still have no idea whether this affects the race or not. But we're going to have fresh tyres anyway. We put in almost 3/4 of a tank of fuel now. And it's time for us to go, 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 as Murray would say. And we will stop it there. So hopefully we will be in 5th position for the race. So there we go. Yes, end qualifying session. Let's get on with it then. Here is the starting grid for round 7 of 17 at Magny-Cours in France. In pole position, it's Damon Hill in the Williams Renault. Second place is Schumacher in the Benetton Renault. Third position for Jean Alesi in the Ferrari. Fourth for Rubens Barrichello. Fifth position it is indeed David Coulthard. 6th place, Oliver's Penis. 7th position, Gerhard Berger. 8th position is Mika Hakkinen. In 9th place, it's Martin Brundle. In 10th position, it's Johnny Herbert in the other Benetton Renault. In 11th place, it's Eddie Irvine. 12th position for Heinz Harald Frentzen. In 13th place, it's Mark Blundell. 14th for Mika Salo. 15th for Bouillon. 16th for Gianni Morbidelli. 17th for Luca Badoa in the Minardi Ford. In 18th, it's Take Inui. 19th for Ukio Katayama. And in 20th place, it's Martini. 21st for Montemini. 22nd for Bertrand Gachot. 23rd for Pedro Diniz. And in 24th, it's Roberto Moreno in the 40 Ford. Okay then, the excitement mounts. Let's get on with this race. Yes, it is indeed 5th place for David Coulthard as the 5 lights go out now and we say go, 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 and it's away he goes. It's another terrible start from David Coulthard. Almost got overtaken there by the Ligier, but he manages to dive around the outside, trying to get past the Jordan Peugeot, as you can see, who's battling like crazy with his Ferrari in front of him, but he holds steadfastly on to 5th position. Oh no, wait a minute, and he's gone very wide, horribly wide. That's it, he's completely conked up, and he gets hit up to Jack Jones by one of the Ligiers. He's already down to 8th position now for David Twat Coulthard, 8th place, and we've only done about 3 corners so far. This is absolutely disastrous scenes once again at Magny-Cours for David Coulthard. So we come down now to this very, very, very tight right-hander, very, very tight indeed, as he tries to now gain some ground on the Jordan Peugeot in front of him. Oh, it gets very, very close to the rear wing, of course, of that Jordan Peugeot. I think it may be Eddie Irvine, I'm not quite sure. Of course, no driver names. He's now going to sneak down. Oh, there's contact with whoever it is from the Jordan Peugeot. There is contact, but he gets up now to 7th place. 7th position for David Coulthard. And our next target now is, of course, one of the McLarens, who has currently got a Ferrari in front of him as we go through this chicane section of the Magny-Cours circuit. David Coulthard almost cocks that up once again. We're just about to complete lap 1. Yes, lap 1. I have no idea how many laps there are in this race. Usually for a 25% distance, it's around about 16 to 18 laps. Anyway, we go through the final chicane now at the Magny-Cours circuit in France for the 1995 season. And we're just about to see if we can get past this McLaren now. He's darting all over the place. Then David Coulthard now goes to the inside line, but I don't think he's got enough room there to pass, and he doesn't pass. He steadfastly stays firm in 7th place, and it is indeed Mika Hakkinen in the McLaren directly ahead, who's now pulls out and tries to get past the Ferrari. That's either Gerhard Berger or John Alesi. We're not sure, of course, because there's no drivers' names above the cars in this game, because of course this was the original, yes, the original game for PlayStation, all the way back in 1996 when it was made, and he dives down inside of 2 cars. It's an absolutely fantastic manoeuvre from David Twat Coulthard there, and he gets back into the 5th place that he had from the start of the race. Yes, 5th position now, but David Coulthard makes contact with the Jordan in front. Oh my goodness, that will have caused a little bit of front wing, and there's more contact. That will have caused some front wing damage to the car of David Coulthard, but he should be okay to continue. We will find out later, of course, because if he gets much more damage, that wing, it'll fly off into the boondocks. Yes, fly off into the boondocks. As we're just about to come down now and almost finish off lap 2, still fighting like crazy with this Jordan in front of him, who is fighting with the Ferrari. And who's ahead of the Ferrari? I can't quite see. I think it must be a Benetton, or could it be a... Is that Damon Hill? Is that... No, it's a Benetton. I can just see the livery as we come round the final corner there. So it's a Benetton. So we've got 3 cars in the line there as the Ferrari pulls out, trying to get past the Benetton, but doesn't quite manage to pull that off. And now the Jordan Peugeot tried. Oh, look at it. Look, they're darting all over the place now. So Damon Hill is currently in the lead. Michael Schumacher in second place. John Lacey in third. Barrichello in fourth position. And Coulthard in fifth place. Wowzers. Absolute wowzers. As we now come down once again to this torturous, yes, absolutely torturous right-hander. Brakes very, very late, very, very late. Tried to do a move. Oh, there's more contact with the Jordan Peugeot there of Rubens Barrichello, but doesn't quite manage to pull it off once again. So Damon Hill still in the lead. Coulthard still in fifth place. Just shy of 2 seconds now, the gap. So it's not a very large gap, of course. But, of course, we do have to come in for a pit stop, and all the cars don't. Yes, all the cars don't. But we will find out more about that later in the season. Yes, let's just say Dave is very, very clever indeed. Yes, but just get on with it, Dave. Just get on with it. So just about to complete. Is it lap 3 now? I think it may be lap 3. Barrichello just ahead. And he's now trying to pull out on this Benetton. Oh, into the chicane. Oh, my goodness. That was... Oh, no, no. Unfortunately, we have managed to remove the rear wing of the Jordan Peugeot of Rubens Barrichello, and he's had to come into the pits. But we have made one place up now, but not the way we wanted to make it, because he's had to come in for a pit stop. Anyway, up to fourth now. So our next target is the Benetton of Mr. Is it? No, it's Schumacher. It's Schumacher. So these are the leaders in front of us. These are the leaders. Wow, this is absolutely fantastic. We haven't seen this for ages in this championship. Yes, usually we're sort of about 12th, 15th or 18th. But no, we are actually up there, right up there with the leaders as we go very, very late, trying to get past Michael Schumacher. In, of course, that Benetton. I don't know why he's in third. He should be in the lead, of course, because he was very dominant in the 1995 season. But, of course, this is a computer game. So anything is possible. And as you can see, the Ferrari tried to pull out there. Now the Benetton's trying to pull out. Michael Schumacher dives down the inside line. We get very, very close to the back of Michael Schumacher, but we think more of trying to get past him, of course, because we don't want to incur any more wing damage to our front wing. We've already got quite a bit because we've made at least 3 or 4 contacts with the cars in front. So we continue on, still in fourth position. There are still the leaders. Yes, this could be a fantastic race for some points. I really, really do feel that points are on the cards in this round of the World Championship. As we go through the final chicane once more, I think we're about to start lap 4. Is it lap 4? There are the leaders, everyone. There are the leaders in front of us. As Michael Schumacher once again does a dive around the outside. The Ferrari tries to dive down the inside of Dayton. Look at this. Look at this. It's like ballerinas all over the place. Look at them. And look at this. David Coulthard goes for a move on Michael Schumacher. He gets past and he's up now into third position. Yes, third place for David Twat Coulthard. Wowzers, absolute wowzers. And Schumacher's dropped down to fifth place now. Yes, he's dropped down behind the Ferrari of Gerhard Berger. So here are the leaders now. It's John Lacey and he's battling with Damon Hill, and this is going to be our opportunity to, I think, get into the lead for David Coulthard, because he looks very, very racy indeed at this circuit. As we go through this chicane, and he's trying to dive around the outside, and he dives down the inside now. Has he got the line? No, he hasn't. Oh, and there's contact, more contact. He almost binned it there. He almost binned it, but he gets past the Ferrari of John Lacey now into second position now. Yes, second place for David Twat Coulthard, which means the only car in front of him now is his teammate. Yes, it's Damon Hill. We haven't seen it much during this series, it has to be said, but we have finally caught up to the leader of this race, Mr. Damon Hill himself, in the other Williams Renault, as we're just about to complete the next lap. So how is David going to approach this? Of course, it's his teammate, but it doesn't matter. All he's focused on is getting past Damon Hill, who is in the lead. Lacey in second place. It says Lacey in second place, but of course the bottom of your screen there is very, very far behind as he tries for a move, trying to go around the outside of Damon Hill. Is he going to do this cleanly, or is there going to be a bit of argy-bargy trying to get past Damon? I don't quite know. Now, of course, we're coming down to this really, really tight right-hander, which is going to be the opportunity that David Coulthard needs to try and get past Mr. Hill. He's going to dive down the inside. I just know he is. Here he goes. Oh, contact. Oh, and this time he does it, though. He pushes Damon a little tiny bit off the circuit. Not too much, though, to incur any sort of penalty from the stewards. But, yes, he gets up now into the lead. Yes, he's into the lead of this Grand Prix on lap fucknose. Yes, on lap fucknose. I think it's lap 5. And I think there may be 18 laps in this race, because I think it's quite a short circuit. It's all determined on how long the circuit is to how many laps they actually do on this 25% race distance. So if we're going to do 18 laps, we're now in the lead on lap 5 as we continue on now through this gorgeous magny-course circuit, go underneath the bridge with the Mobile 1 sign, as you can see, adorned all over the bridge, and we go through the final chicane, and we're just about to start the next lap of the Grand Prix, and I think it may be, yes it is, it's lap 6, so we are in the lead. No, Damon Hill is not in the lead, please update it. There you go, thank you. Coulthard in the lead after 6 laps, Damon Hill in second place, Michael Schumacher in third, Gerhard Berger in fourth, John Lacey in fifth, and Johnny Herbert in 6th position as David goes a little bit wide, and Damon Hill is sort of dropping back a little bit, I do believe. He's 1.4 seconds behind the leader now, of course, which is Coulthard. Wowzers. But of course, unfortunately, as I've said earlier, Damon Hill goes for a move down the inside of David Coulthard, and there's contact and he's round. Damon Hill gets past, and so does Michael Schumacher, and David Coulthard almost bins it there, but he manages to hold on, but he's dropped 2 positions now, down to 3rd place. He's going to be very, very angry indeed inside that cockpit now. Absolutely furious he's going to be because he's lost the lead, and he goes for a move around the outside of Michael Schumacher but doesn't quite manage to pull that off. So 3rd position now for David Coulthard. Lost 2 places there on that very, very tight chicane, and he's desperately trying to get back the lead. But of course, as I've said earlier, he's going to have to come into the pits once again, and all the other cars aren't, so he's going to lose at least 20 seconds when he comes in for that pit stop as Michael Schumacher tries for a move to the chicane. And there's contact with Damon Hill, but he manages to get past, so now he goes into the lead. Damon Hill drops down into 2nd place. Oh my goodness, it's like a mirror of the 1995 season, isn't it, really? Yes, this is what used to happen. Damon Hill used to be in the lead, as my voice goes, and of course Michael Schumacher used to be able to get past him. So let's see whether David Coulthard can now get past his teammate Damon Hill. He's trying to set him up for a move there, trying to dart in and out of the slipstream. Well, of course he would be if there was any slipstream, because there isn't any slipstream in this game. But now he's going to brake very, very late for this right-hander and try and get on. There's contact. He goes straight into the back of Michael Schumacher, but he manages to retake 2nd place from Damon Hill. Up into 2nd place now for David Coulthard. Just Michael Schumacher in the lead of this race, and he goes for it. Oh no, I don't believe it. He's now taken off the rear wing of Michael Schumacher. That's very, very unfortunate there. So Michael Schumacher is now going to have to come in for a pit stop, and we are going to get back into the lead. But that's not how David Coulthard wanted it. No, not indeed. Wanted to get the lead fair and square, but unfortunately he has knocked the rear wing off of Michael Schumacher's car. So as we're about to complete this lap, you will see Michael Schumacher peel off into the pits, because they always have to come in if they lose their rear wing. So down we go to the final. Oh my goodness gracious, look at that. Damon Hill, there's more contact with the Ferrari, but Damon Hill came out of nowhere as Michael Schumacher goes in for his pit stop now to get his rear wing changed. It's going to be at least 20 seconds, so I think Michael Schumacher is going to be well out of getting any points in this race. But Damon Hill, he was like a rocket ship from Mars, just dove it down the outside and managed to get back into the lead of this Grand Prix. I think this is on lap 7 now. Yes, maybe lap 7. Well, that was unbelievable scenes. Let's see if David Coulthard can retake the lead from, of course, Damon Hill. He's 1.2 seconds behind now. No, he's now less than a second behind Damon Hill as he's going to brake very, very late into... Oh no, he gets credited. Oh, there's contact with both of the Ferraris there. Straight into the sideboard. That's going to cause more damage to David Coulthard's car, of course. More damage to the front wing, more damage to the rear wing as well. And we will see how much that's going to affect us as we go in for our first pit stop very, very soon, in about 2 or 3 laps, I do believe. And once, oh no, that's it, and he's round. David Coulthard's round, and he's lost his front wing. His front wing is off, which is going to affect his understeering and oversteering and everything else steering, really. Oh no, is he going to come into the pits? I think he's going to have to, because this is a very tight and twisty circuit, and I don't think he's going to be able to manage without a front wing. And oh, there's more contact, and 2 more cars go past, and he's taken the rear wing off the Ferrari. Well, no fucks are being given tonight by Mr. David Coulthard, and now the Ferrari is going to have to come into the pits as well, as you can see, and so is David Coulthard. And now the rear wing is missing off Damon Hill's car as well, so Damon Hill's going to come in. But is Damon Hill going to have to go round again, because in this game priority is given to the player and not to the teammate? So I think Damon Hill, as we come in We can just see Damon. Is it? Yes, he's had to go round again. Is Damon Hill as we're about to repair our car now. Look at the damage of the car. The front wing, the rear wing and the tyres. Oh my goodness. Absolutely incredible scenes. This is going to be a 20-second pit stop. A 20-second pit stop for Mr. Damon Hill, as you can see. So we rejoin the field now in 15th position. Yes, 15th place. And we've got to wait now to see where everyone else pans out. John Lacey is currently in the lead after 9 laps. Yes, we've done 9 laps so far. Johnny Herbert in second place. Eddie Irvine in third. Barrichello in fourth. Hakkinen in fifth. And we are now 33 seconds behind the leader, which is John Lacey. As we're just about to come up to, I think it's one of the LaRousse cars. I can just see from the livery there. Let's see if we can get past. We're now down to 16th place because, of course, the LaRousse has just passed us as we now dive down the inside into this very, very tight right-hander. Are we going to get past? Yes, we do. So up into 15th once again for David Coulthard. Now, of course, it's going to be very, very easy to get past a lot of these back markers and very, very quickly indeed. But has he got enough time to get back into the points? Because it's been quite a difficult race for DC at the moment. Our next target is, of course, one of the and there's Damon Hill. There's Damon Hill, still without his rear wing, as you can see. We're battling away with this Tyrrell Yamaha, trying to get past, and he's trying to get past Damon Hill. He's going very, very slow around the circuit, of course, because he's got no rear wing on the car. So I think now Damon Hill will peel off into the pits and get that rear wing changed. Oh, and the Tyrrell will go past. The LaRousse is trying to get past David Coulthard, but of course we managed to get past Damon Hill because he's going very, very slowly around the circuit. We're just about to go through the final chicane once more, as you can see. Up into 14th place. Unfortunately, we won't be able to see whether Damon comes into the pits, but we know he's going to have to, because they always do when they lose their rear wings. Okay, so the car in front now is Ukio Katayama in, of course, the Tyrrell Yamaha. Yes, sponsored by Nokia. Who remembers Nokia? Oh my goodness. They were the king of phones in the 90s and the 2000s, weren't they? Everyone had a Nokia. Yes. And then everyone had a BlackBerry. Yes. And now, no. Anyway, we dive down the inside of... Oh, 3 cars now. 3 cars. It's a fantastic move from David Coulthard there. Manages to get past 3 cars up into 11th place now. Now the next car is one of the other Tyrrell Yamahas as he plows straight into the back of them. Now, of course, it would be in any other race in the modern era. Just one more position and we'd be in the points. But of course, in 1995, this is not how the points worked out. He's going to get up into 6th position before he even gets a single solitary World Championship point. So our next target is John Lacey in that Ferrari, still in the lead, is the McLaren as we try and dive down the inside of the McLaren. And Lacey's on lap 11 and Coulthard gets past. He's now into single figures. Yes, 9th place, but still outside of the World Championship points at the moment as we go through the final chicane at the Magny-Cours circuit. Our next target is going to be a Sauber, I do believe, which in 1995 was sponsored by Red Bull, of course, who now sponsor no one because that's their own team. Yes, it's the Red. Just get on with it, Dave. Just get on with it. Anyway, Lacey in the lead still at the moment. 45 seconds now ahead of David Twat Coulthard as we try now to get past this Sauber. Now, of course, in 1995, the Saubers did quite well. Nothing brilliant, but in Sauber terms, they were doing very, very well indeed. Of course, they got... Oh, no, he's made contact there with the McLaren, but he gets past. Was that Mika Hakkinen? It may have been Mika Hakkinen. No, Jean-Christophe Bouillon. He was in the Sauber, of course, yes. So we're up now to 7th position for David Coulthard. Next target, that's Elysia. That's definitely Elysia. I can see that because it says so on the side bod. There's more contact. That's more damage to the front wing of David Coulthard's car. Wow. Absolute wow. Anyway, 12 laps now for John Lacey. Still in the lead in that Ferrari. Incredible scenes. If only they could do it in 2019. If only their boss wasn't a complete pussy. I'm sorry, I've said it now and I'm going to say it again. I don't like the new Ferrari boss. No. I think he looks too much like a children's entertainer to me. I keep imagining him like making balloons into dogs, you know, and how they do it, you know, twisting the old balloons and making it and going, oh, looky. I just keep imagining saying, hey, it's me, I'm Mario. I think it's just the glasses. I'm sure he's fine. I'm sure he's a brilliant boss. He's very, very stern and what have you. But he just looks too much like a children's entertainer to me. Anyway, Let's get on with the race, shall we? And as you can see, David Coulthard, as I've been waffling on with my usual old waffle, has got into the points, everyone. Yes, 6th position now for DC as we're about to head into the final laps of this Grand Prix at the Magny-Cours circuit in France. Michael Schumacher now is in 5th place, as you can see. Let's see if David Coulthard can get past Michael Schumacher and get another World Championship point to add to the one he's got at the moment, which will make 2. Yes, I was good at maths, as you can see. So let's see if we can get past David Coulthard. No, get past Michael Schumacher. 13 laps now for John Alesi. Still in the lead of this Grand Prix. Absolutely unbelievable. But of course, don't forget, we had a little contretemps as we come into the pit stops there for Damon Hill. He had to come in for a rear wing. And didn't Michael Schumacher? Yeah, Michael Schumacher had to come in as well. So that's probably why John Alesi is now in the lead of this race. I just hope he doesn't run out of fuel. Well, I hope he doesn't run out of fuel. Oh, John. Oh, John. So we continue on. I think it's lap 14 now. It may be lap 14. And as you can see, Michael Schumacher has just passed one of the Jordan Peugeots. Was that for a position or was that... No, it must be for position. Oh, Jesus, we got a Ferrari right up our chuff. I just saw off to the right-hand side there trying to get past us. That's obviously got to be Gerhard Berger because John Alesi is currently still in the lead. But let's see if we can put the moves on this Jordan Peugeot. I think it must be a position. Yes, it must be a position for the Jordans. Doing fantastic as we dived in. Oh, look at that manoeuvre there. It was Eddie Irvine and it was like taking candy from a baby. It really was. That was a fantastic move from DC there. Up into 5th place now. Yes, 5th place. Oh, Jesus Christ. He almost binned it there. Almost binned it, but he holds on steadfastly to this 5th position. So once again, we're right behind Michael Schumacher, who's once again trying to get past the other Jordan Peugeot, which of course now is going to be Rubens Barrichello as we come through the chicane once again. 14 laps now in the lead. And for John Alesi, as we try and get past Schumacher, all 3 cars once again are together, as you can see. Is that Damon Hill? No, it can't be. He's got to be way, way back as Damon Hill. No, it's the other Benetton of Johnny Herbert, of course, which is now ahead of Michael Schumacher. Both the Benettons are with each other. This is fantastic to see in, of course, the 1995 season, because in real life, of course, Johnny Herbert really didn't get close to Schumacher at all, it has to be said. Didn't get close to Schumacher. But we are getting very, very close to Schumacher. In fact, we go straight into his side pod and attempt to try and get past. And the Ferrari of Gerhard Berger right behind us is once again trying to get past us. Oh, wowzers. This is going to be real excitement as we go into the final laps of this Grand Prix. Was that Schumacher getting past Johnny Herbert there? I think it may have been. Anyway, we go past now the Benetton ourselves. Up into 4th place now for David Coulthard. I think that must be Michael Schumacher ahead. Yes, so let's see if we can get past Schumacher. That means that Jordan Peugeot must be in 2nd position. Yes, I think it... Oh, let's see if we can get past... Yes, of course, this resurgence from the Jordan team in 1995 was continued on into 1996 and into 1997, which was a very, very good year indeed for the Jordan cars. Yes, Eddie Irvine was very, very proud of that year. Of course, not their best year. Of course, that was when Damon won a race in 1998. I think, was that the German Grand Prix? I do believe. I think it was, yes. With Ralf Schumacher in 2nd place in absolutely rain-soaked conditions. Of course, unfortunately, there was a lot of controversy with that race because Ralf Schumacher was actually a heck of a lot faster than Damon Hill, but he had to hold station, and Damon Hill actually came over the radio and said as much about do we want to finish with glory, or do we want to try and be heroes and make a mistake and not end up with any points at all, because of course both the cars could have clashed with each other trying to pass each other. So they held station and Damon Hill won the race and Ralf Schumacher finished, I think, behind him. I think he was behind him anyway. So up to 3rd position now for David Coulthard with just a few more laps to go. Yes, which means that Jordan Peugeot is indeed in 2nd place. That has to be Rubens Barrichello. So let's see, this is going to be fantastic for the championship if we can get a podium at France. Yes, a podium. So let's see if we can get past Ruby Barrichello. 15 laps now has been completed. John Alesi still in the lead. Barrichello is indeed in 2nd place. And Coulthard is in 3rd because he hasn't updated the screen yet. So that must mean that there is John Alesi, the leader. Oh my goodness. Are we going to challenge for the lead on the final dying laps of this Grand Prix? We're just about to find out. As you can see, we're going to try and get past Rubens Barrichello, but at the moment, no, we don't decide to do that. We are on for a podium, so we don't want to take any chances and risk having it all go up in flames in the final laps of this Grand Prix. John Lacey's now crossed the line after 16 laps still in the lead, and there's one of the, I think that was a Tyrrell, was it a Tyrrell? May have been. We've passed him anyway. He was a back marker, so we don't have to give him any concern whatsoever. Our main concern now is the car in front, which is second place, and it's Rubens Barrichello in the Jordan, and you just know that DC is going to go for a dive into this chicane, and he does do, and he pulls that off once again superbly. So now he is right behind the leader of John Lacey, and he's been in for a pit stop of at least 20 seconds, but he's still managed to catch up to the leader. This is absolutely fantastic news for the championship at Magny Cuz, as he tries to go around the outside. There's a LaRousse there, as you can see, just off to the left, another back marker, but we both managed to dispatch him pretty darn quickly, it has to be said. So this is going to be absolutely great. I think there's only 2 laps to go. Can we get past John Lacey? Or more importantly, can we catch up right to the back of John Lacey? As we're just about to come down the hill now into this final chicane, and we're about to start lap 17, which means there may only be one more lap to go after this, as we're just about to come round the final turn now. There's less than a second between us and John Lacey, who is currently in the lead. Now, of course, the only place we are going to be able to pass him is going into that chicane, that very, very tight chicane. 17 laps now for John Lacey. Coulthard still right up his Jack Jones, trying to get past and trying to get that lead off him. Damon Hill's just done a fastest lap of a 1:26.096. Fantastic. I think he's a little bit too far back though to try for this move from David Coulthard, and he is, but he does manage to get a little bit more ground on John Lacey. Less than a second now, as you can see, just 3/4 of a second in fact behind John Lacey. This is the battle for the lead right in front of your eyes, as he gets very, very close now to John Lacey. Is he going to do a move down the inside? Oh, there's a bit of contact. There's more contact. Don't lose your front wing, David. And look at this wheel-to-wheel racing. There's more contact. This is very, very dodgy for David Coulthard's front wing. Very, very dodgy indeed. I think one more hit and that wing is going to come off, so he's got to be very, very careful. Is he going to consolidate himself with second place, or is he going to take another dive bomb chance and try and sneak past John Lacey? Well, we will find out, of course. Racing drivers have got racing in their blood, so he is desperately going to try and get that. Oh, and he's taken the rear wing, and he goes into the... No, he doesn't. Oh, my goodness, what happened there? John Lacey, it looked like he was going to go into the pits. David Coulthard goes back into the lead. And that was it. That was it. That was the end of the race. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Wowzers. He done it. He bloody done it. Oh my goodness. I can't contain my excitement now. David Coulthard wins the race in the last 9 seconds. He takes off John Lacey's rear wing. He sort of looks like he was going to go into the pits there, but of course on the last lap he sort of decided not to. So in the championship now, David Coulthard has rocketed up into 3rd position with 27 World Championship points. Williams are still in the lead with 52. Wowzers, absolute wowzers. Well, that was real excitement there right in the last 9 seconds of this Grand Prix. And I'd just like to say thanks so much for watching, everyone. And as always, there will, of course, be more later.